This is the Avantek weather station, and included with the weather station are the instructions here, which are actually pretty decent at walking you through how to set this up. A wall adapter, which I've already got plugged in here, and the outdoor sensor, which I brought in from outside just to kind of show you what it looks like here. Two AAA batteries are required for this sensor, and 3 for the weather station itself. Although they're not required, you can use the adapter by itself. I'm using 3 in here as a battery backup in case the electricity goes out. But you can either use either or. Installation of the batteries for the sensor are not quite so easy because there's 4 little tiny screws, and then on the camera they look larger than they really are. They're actually kind of small. That you have to take off to actually put the batteries inside here. But as I said, the instructions do a pretty decent job at walking you through the setup. It's kind of similar to what most digital clocks are set up. You have to set the weather here and then the date and time to get things going. But as I said, it's pretty similar to an alarm clock with the buttons and features. You have a mode, up-down button, memory, and alarm button. Then the top has a snooze and light button. And it also, it's similar to an alarm clock because it also functions as an alarm clock if that's what you want to use it for. Although for me personally, I'm primarily interested in the weather station aspect of it. The one thing that's a small annoyance, at least for me, especially if you're using this as an alarm clock, that is if you keep this plugged in to the electrical outlet, the wall outlet, as opposed to batteries, this backlight stays on all the time. So as an alarm clock, that might be a little bit of an annoyance. I would have liked to have seen the option to have this turn off when you have it on electrical power. As on batteries, the backlight turns off after 20 seconds, but not so practical to have an alarm clock running constantly on batteries. Now, I use the batteries which go into the back here, into this little slot right there, as you can see. I use the batteries as a backup in case the electricity goes out. Because with no batteries, the settings are wiped on this and reset. Now, with this, once the batteries are in this, I actually found this sensor paired up with this weather station pretty quickly. In comparison to some weather stations I already have that are sometimes a pain to pair up, this was actually relatively painless, so kind of a surprise there with this. Now, the temperature-wise with this was within a half a degree of my other weather stations, and the humidity was the same, so I'm fairly confident that it's fairly accurate, or at least with the other weather stations. They're within a range of a little bit. The temperature was within about a half a degree off. So I mean, relatively close temperature and humidity wise. So the sensor is actually, in my opinion, fairly accurate. The range of the sensor is actually pretty good. It's capable of being over 300 feet away. Now, I don't have that far away at my house. I'm probably maximum 30 feet away, but I mean, it's capable of much further. So now with this, the humidity and temperature settings were in metric, in Celsius. So if you want to switch that, you have to actually hit the down button to change to Fahrenheit, which I have it currently set as. The display is okay, and actually, as you can see on camera, it's fairly bright. But me personally, I kind of think this is a bit small and hard to read from certain angles. It's not so well. Maybe that could tell you a little bit on camera. It picks up better on camera, but it's best viewed from straight on, and I would actually like to see a version of this with a bit larger display. But of course, this is also an alarm clock, so I mean, for that purpose, it'll work okay. Me personally, I'm more interested in the weather station part of this device. But like I said, I would like the display to be a bit larger, and the data on here to be a bit larger as well to make it easier to see. Now, one thing that's kind of a wish for me, it's not a negative to this, is I would have actually liked to see this have the ability to connect to the atomic clock, because I have a weather station that does that, which makes really easy for easy clock setup. So, again, it's more of a wish than any kind of knock on this device. Now, considering the price, it's currently about 37 bucks. I don't expect this to be a professional weather station, but as far as the accuracy goes, I'm pretty satisfied with this, as it seems to be fairly accurate within a degree or so on both the inside and outside temperatures. I mean, it just does have some small annoyances, such as the backlight not having an option to turn off and electrically powered, and the display being a bit smaller than I would like. But overall, this is a pretty good quality weather station / alarm clock, and I give it 4 stars.